Guys, I'll be live with you in just a moment. Hit that thumbs up button and share the link. It's very important that people see what's happening right now. I don't think people are aware of what's about to happen. So people need to be, preparing for the impact, because really the impact is about to hit, and most people are in a daze. I don't think people are really getting it. It doesn't feel like it to me. Does it feel like it to you? Like people are just walking around like it's just another day, another crazy stories in the news. We don't really take it serious anymore because it's all fake news anyway, right? It'll be fake, right, as soon as it starts happening. Then it's no longer fake. But anyways, I'll be with you live in a moment. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, here we are again. Blazing Press, Robert, again, one more time. 6 p.m. West Coast time. A little bit late because I had an important date. I was late, but I'm here. The important date is still in the future, too. So I'm just taking a moment to come on to give away some eggs and tell you the bad news. But I also want to tell you a little bit of the good news, too. The bad news is that America may be facing a major recession/depression. A little pain for the higher-ups, the billionaires, but a lot of pain for you and me. People that only think about themselves, really, they project this altruistic attitude in order to gain your trust. But really, when it all happens, they're like, whoops, it's Biden's fault. I inherited this dumpster fire, you remember? I had to militarize the police to keep the peace. We've got to control everything now. Don't forget to take your mRNAs because they just put a whole bunch of money into that new shot that you're going to get. But he had bad advisors. He didn't know what he was doing. It was his first term. RFK doesn't like it either, but he's supporting it. He's pushing it. Maybe it's not all that bad. Maybe this technology has improved since last time, right? Maybe I can do it now. Maybe it's all better. They said it's going to save me from dying. It'll heal me of cancer. I don't need to trust God. Who needs God? We'll just trust science. You remember Fauci is the embodiment of science. Remember he said, I am science. I am science. It's like, you can't criticize me because I'm science. So, and then he gets the presidential award from Trump. Remember, Trump awarded him and then somebody questioned Trump. Why did you give him the presidential award? I didn't give it to him. You didn't? Well, you signed it. I didn't know I signed it. Like that was the auto pen. the pen did it all by itself. I don't know what happened. I think the president's supposed to know everything that's been signed. Okay, anybody who gets an award should be known. But anyways. Besides the point, China is blaming the U.S. for COVID now. Statement just came out today. China's blaming the United States. Did you see that? It's all U.S.'s fault, and we're blaming them. We're putting tariffs on them. They're putting tariffs on us. Where is this going to lead? To a hot war. Why is it that Trump told Elon, you can't participate in this Pentagon meeting? We're talking about war with China. You're not supposed to be here, Elon. I was like, war with China? What? How come this isn't hit in the mainstream media? War with China? The Pentagon? Discussions? Elon was actually going to be included? It's like, is this a tariff war, or are we talking about a real kinetic war? Well, usually economics lead to wars. That's usually the way it works anyway, in the real world. You know, if I took away your money, you'd be pretty upset, wouldn't you? If I embargoed your country and stopped you from eating, don't you think you'd get a little upset? That's maybe why they're militarizing the police right now under Trump's new executive order in the last few days, because people might not be able to eat here real soon. And then guess what? People get upset. So those police need to be empowered, is my guess. Do you see where this is going? But hey, don't believe me. I'm fake news. I've got Trump derangement syndrome. I don't look at facts. I just go by my feelings. No, I don't. I'm looking at the facts. I'm looking at what's happening. Sorry. I support a lot of what Trump says in on paper, but I don't know if he's doing what he's actually saying, okay? I'm just telling you, I doubt the character there from what I can see overall. He's good at channeling things. He's good at representing. He's good at selling. But hey, I've seen a lot of good salesmen. I mean, like Sham Wow. Remember that guy? He was a great salesman. Sham Wow. You want a shammy? Shimmy, shammy, shammy, shimmy? It's going to do everything. It'll clean your dog, and it'll clean your carpet. And it'll do magic. He sold a lot of them, too. But he was a good salesman. So it's not so much whether or not you're a good salesman, it's whether or not the product is actually a good product. Is what Trump is selling America and the world a good product? I mean, because Trump did say he's running the world yesterday. You guys saw that quote, right? Trump says, I'm running the world? Really? Is this like pre-World War II running the world? Like everybody's going along with us? I mean, we're bombing the heck out of Yemen. Again, 800 plus sorties and bombs going off down there from the U.S. I thought he was a man of peace. I thought he was going to end all wars. What happened? This doesn't look like peace to me. And we're about to bomb the heck out of Iran, too. What's going to happen there? It looks like a big war in the Middle East, too. And not to mention the fact that Trump is now easing the restrictions on taxpayer dollars to Ukraine. And now we're funding Ukraine again today. Did you see that? We're getting behind Zelensky. You know why? Because Zelensky said, sure, come on in, have our rare earth materials. Go ahead, Trump. You twisted my arm to get this, to build up your AI infrastructure and your lithium batteries to compete with China. Go ahead, have at it. Now support what we're doing against Russia. Go ahead, let's make it a big war. So no more peace with Russia. Now we are 100% behind Ukraine, I'm guessing, because of this rare earth deal. And we're sending them now a whole bunch of money. So it really wasn't about peace. It was about controlling resources. That's really what it was about. It wasn't about peace with Putin and bringing peace and calm to the world. It was about taking over the resources. So there's the shimmy, shammy, shimmy, shammy, shimmy, shammy, and the hopium that turns to opium. Everybody's like, what just happened? I just woke up from a bad dream. I thought I was in heaven, but it turns out we're burning in the lake. It's really deadly, guys. This is a deadly moment. Now, I'm going to show you guys some quick articles and updates, and I'm going to also spin that wheel. All right, let's just spin it right now, okay? Let's just get it over with. Let's get somebody here that has actually commented and is present, because you can only win when you're present. How many are present? Remember your teacher used to say, And who's here? And you'd say present. Back in the old days, they would say present. I'm present. And then it's like, I'm here. How many people are here today that actually commented and is ready to win some eggs? Some golden eggs. Who wants some golden eggs? Trump endorses them because they're golden. They're golden. They are golden eggs. All right, let's go ahead. And this is now everybody that commented on the last video that I did yesterday. You're the ones that are entered in. It took too long. If you're here right now and you want to do last minute entry, it's too late. It is too late, baby. Yes, it's too late. Okay, so we're going to spin that wheel right now. Here you go. Round and round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows, except we do know right now. Jennifer Gloria, 1575. Is Jennifer Gloria 1575 in the house? If you're not, you better say now, speak now, or forever hold your peace, because I'm going to spin it again if you're not here. Where are you? Jennifer Gloria, are you here? Gloria. Gloria. Da-da-da. Is Gloria in the house? Okay, I'm giving you 10 seconds. Do, 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 do. She's on her Roku. I can't type. Hold on, wait. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you lost your opportunity there, Jennifer. You got to be here. Now you're watching this in the archives and you're like, dang it, 6 o'clock every day. Be there or be square. If you can't be here at 6 o'clock, you might as well not. I mean, you can still comment. Sure, you might as well comment and say hello and tell me what you think, because I like to know what everybody thinks. But if you're trying to win some eggs and you're commenting for the eggs, you better be here, because I'm going to spin it again. Okay, let's see who's next. Oh, Dee Dee almost won. Dee Dee, you were this close. Oh. But I think Renee is here. I bet you Renee is here, because she has been talking like she's been here the last couple nights. Tell me, Renee, you're here. Renee, are you here? Renee. Is Renee not here? So Pamela won yesterday. Pamela Johnson won yesterday. So Pamela's going to get... I'm waiting for a couple of these so I can put them both in the mail at the same time. Pamela. So they will be on the way here pretty soon, as soon as I get a couple more winners. Hey, Jeffrey B., what's going on? Okay, so who else is nobody? Renee, you're not here? Come on, Renee. Renee's not here. Can you believe that? She's not here. She was here last night, wasn't she? All right, let's go again. You guys are all happy that they're not here. They're like, yes, she's not here. Yes, she's not here. You didn't make the list because you didn't comment within the last 15 minutes. That's your ex-wife. Them eggs is mine. Kevin, right. That ain't your ex-wife, is it? All right, here we go. We're going to do it again. All right, here we go. Hopefully that same one doesn't win again, the one that I just had. Absent name. Okay, so that sounds like a troll. That might have been somebody criticizing me. Absent name, are you here? Absent name. Absent name is absent. I'm not here, even though I won. Okay, so absent name is not here. I didn't think that they would be, because their name says they're absent. I have no idea who absent name is. I've never seen. Maybe absent-minded. Absent is absent. All right, who's next? Round and round and round she goes. Buddha, brother! Now, is Buddha... Buddha was here yesterday. No, he missed it. You just barely missed it, Buddha. Prepare Now 41. Okay, let's see. Prepare Now 41, are you here? I just can't believe that people are commenting, trying to get these eggs, and then they're not showing up. TCPTA, is that really you? Let me see. I can tell. Don't lie. Let me see. Oh, shoot. What did I just do? Is that really you? I got to go to your channel. Go to channel. It tells me your name on your channel. No, it's not you. Come on. That's not you. It's got to be exactly what is said on the screen. Yeah, the absent name is a bot. Better Prepare Now is not here. Okay, we're gonna spin it again. Remove one more time. Somebody's gonna win this. That's here. And this is what happened last night. We had like 5 or 6 names that people weren't there. Debbie Atwell. Are you there, Debbie Atwell? Debbie, are you there? Debbie. Debbie's not here either. Okay, Debbie. All right. That's it. Debbie's gone. Let's see who's next. There's so many names on here. A lot of people commented. Frank. I think I saw Frank in the house. Oh, nope. It went right past Frank. Stephen P. Fanetstal. And I'm going to guess this guy's not here either. Stephen, are you here? Carla's like, you called my name last night, but I'm here now. I'm always going to be on at 6 o'clock. So I started telling everybody 6 o'clock, this is going to be the time of the show. 6 o'clock, so you know. Ah, Frank is here. Frank is in the house. Okay, so Frank, you did win, right? Frank, you were here. Okay, Frank. Did Frank win before? You guys did Frank win the last one? No, wait, Frank didn't win. Did Frank win? Guys, did I have Frank? Now I just took away the name and Frank was right there. He barely won. Oh, he almost won. I just took the name out. Now it looks like he won because the little thing went right back to him. Poor Frank. You almost won, but now it looks like you won because I took the name out and now you're right there. But you actually didn't win. 6 p.m. West Coast time. Give him to Frank? Should I just give him to Frank? All right. Frank, do you really want him? Frank? All right. So I'll give Frank one, and then I'll give somebody else one right now. Whoever wins this next one. Okay, Frank, all you got to do is message me. Tell me your ID. Make sure it's you. And your shipping details. And then message me at blazingpress@gmail.com. blazingpress@gmail.com. One word. Just one word, Blazing Press. All right, so let's just give away one more. So Frank gets it. Really, where am I? Where do you guys get these names from? Really, where am I? Really, where am I? Really? Where am I? Should I give Carla one too? Carla, where are you? Are you still here? You really want those eggs, I bet, huh? So, Carla, you can send me your name too. And then I'll just give one more away, and that's it, okay? This is the last one. So, really where I am. So, there's Carla, Frank, and let's see. Really I am didn't show up, so they're not here, right? Oh, he's there. Really, where am I? You're here. Oh, you won. You won. Really, where am I? Okay, really, where am I? What's your name, really? Tell me your name, your first name really quick so I know. So when I send it in the mail, it has to match your when I send it in the email or to your address, you got to make sure it's the same address with your name. What's your first name? First name. Just give me your first name. Really, where am I? What is your first name so I know? Make sure that I don't give it to somebody else on accident. Chris? Okay, Chris. So send me your shipping details. blazingpress@gmail.com. blazingpress@gmail.com. Same thing with you, Frank, and the other one was Carla. Carla, Frank, and Chris. Send me your details the email is blazingpress@gmail.com. blazingpress@gmail.com, and then I'll send them out to you, okay? And Pamela, you also have a free bag of eggs coming your way too. So get ready. All right, so let's go to the news really quick. Let's see what's going on here. Man, I am so hot in here. Let's go. I think I'm going to have to turn on this air conditioner here really quick, or turn on the, open the door, I mean. That is the air conditioner because the outside is still kind of cool. Let's see what we got here. Okay, hold on 1 second, okay? Just give me a second to open the door and it'll take me 3 seconds, okay? See if I can do it in 3 seconds. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was a little bit late. Okay. All right, so let's get into the news, guys. What's happening? What is going on? Okay, we're going to go through this pretty quickly. I do have to be somewhere in a little bit here, so we're going to try to do this kind of quick. But I'm going to be thorough. Don't worry. All right, where are we at here? Okay, so the U.S. has launched 800-plus airstrikes on the Houthis, continuing even till into tonight. Despite the massive offensive, the Houthis remain defiant. Military analysts warn that without support from regional ground forces, strikes could repeat the 2015 failures, failing to stop Houthis or on account of their battlefield resistance or resilience. It should say on account, right? That should be on account. I'm pretty sure that should be on account. That didn't make sense. It didn't sound right. Okay, so then we got Vice President J.D. Vance admits that the war in Ukraine isn't ending anytime soon. Well, I thought it was going to be over in 24 hours. As soon as I come into office, it's going to stop. Peace is going to reign on earth. But that didn't happen. So I guess it was so bad. Biden it was a lot worse than we expected. My goodness, the whole economy is about to fall through the floor. We didn't realize it was that bad. I did. I knew it was bad. But it was all part of the plan. It was all part of the uniparty plan. It really isn't. Didn't take me by surprise. I guess I should be president because I knew how bad it was. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says that he's working to ban all soda pops and candy from U.S. food stamps. Wow, that's amazing. He wants them to all crash hard on their addiction to sugar so that they're going to need to take that mRNA because he's for the mRNA. It's a lot more safe and effective. Safe and effective. Your mRNA shots are waiting for you, all you poor people out there that are addicted to candy and soda pop with your EBT. No more EBT, soda pop, and candy. We just put 176 million U.S. tax dollars for mRNA flu shots to pay Moderna. There you go. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. The Flintstone feds are in the Stone Age. And a yabba dabba doo time. How many of you guys used to watch Flintstones when you were kids? I think I did. I used to like the Flintstones. You know, when they had the Beatles on there. Remember they had the Beatles, and, you know, they had all kinds of bedrock. It was always like Stone Age kind of thing, though. But anyway, Elon Musk says that government technology is prehistoric. I was going to say prebiotic. I'm thinking prebiotics. Prebiotics. Has anybody ever heard of this HU58? It is a prebiotic, actually. You ferment it and you make yogurt out of it. It actually is a lot better for you when you ferment it. But anyway, prehistoric, not prebiotic. Government technology is prehistoric. It's so, this is what Elon said. It's so prehistoric that even dinosaurs would think it's old, unquote. I like the way Elon sits there like this. Interesting. He looks like he looks like the guy from The Simpsons. What was his name? Mr. Burns? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so that's it. They say, and they'll do anything to get everyone on board for their plan of a full takeover of AI governance and surveillance. The commentator says here. Who is the commentator? I guess it's Blazing Press. It's got to be my wife. All right, so this is a big earthquake that happened in was it California? Where did this happen? It says major U.S. city rocked by earthquake felt by thousands. I think it was Utah. Okay, so earthquake in Utah, Salt Lake City. There was also one, I think, in Ohio yesterday, right? Was also in Ohio. Look at what happened. This wall just fell off. You know, whoever made that wall, you can see that wall, look at that wall. That wall had no rebar in it. Anybody that knows about constructing walls, and walls like that need rebar. That wouldn't have happened if there was rebar in that wall and some concrete. That thing looks like it was just... That was very unsafe, even without the earthquake. Somebody could have been killed there. I actually saw somebody get killed by a wall falling on top of them. I actually did. I used to do a little construction stuff, and what happened was the wall was there. They were building it. You know, a bunch of Mexican workers. They were mostly Mexican. And somebody came on the other side with the forklift and actually bumped the wall with the forklift, and the guy was on the other side picking up, you know, stray blocks, and the wall came crashing down on top of him, and the block, it just literally just, I don't mean to be graphic, but it was pretty bad. The dude died instantly. The whole wall fell on top of him. Uh-oh. Israeli airstrikes are now being reported in Damascus. I'm sorry for having to give that visual. That was pretty bad. Israeli airstrikes are now happening right now in Damascus. The Israeli army confirms in a rather weird way. Let's see. What are they saying here? The Israeli army says a short time ago, warplanes attacked the area near Ahmed Hussein al-Sharia's palace in Damascus. Israeli army confirms in a rather weird way. This is unusual. I don't know what that means. Israeli airstrikes have been reported in Damascus. There you go. That's some visuals right there out of Damascus. Some pretty big clouds of smoke there you can see up in the sky as they pan up. That looks like a very big dark cloud. If you go up a little bit here, let's see. right about. Oh, maybe that isn't a cloud. That's part of. Okay, so but that is definitely smoke there. Okay, so there you go on that. Okay, Trump okays first cash weapons sales to Kiev, partly lifts hold on Ukrainian military aid. Thank you very much. It was a great deal. We made out like a bandit. We're going to now support you, even though we made it look like you were the stupid dummy that wasn't listening to us about making peace with Russia. We really didn't want peace in the first place. We wanted all of your rare earth minerals. That's really what the real motive was. The United States and Ukraine just officially signed the United States-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Act. So we're going to be putting a lot of money into it's kind of like Japan. After it was destroyed, we went in there and we became friends. Friends help friends. We restructured the whole country. You know, the reason why Japan attacked us is because we embargoed them. We basically cut off all their oil and all of their shipping. They were going to starve out there on that island. What did you expect them to do, really? Sneak attack us. That's exactly what they did. So here you go. We're going to reconstruct Ukraine because it is a total and complete disaster. In Trump words, it's a disaster. This would have never happened if I was in office. If you would have elected me the first time, it would have never happened. It's a disaster. Bankruptcy, 2025. Bankruptcy and layoffs slam wide range of transportation companies. Okay, so I got some really important news to share with you guys, so get ready. Carriers, logistics, this is not it yet, but this is about things that are coming. Logistics, carriers, logistic firms from Florida to Illinois declare bankruptcy in struggling freight market. This is coming from FreightWaves. Layoffs and bankruptcies hit multiple sectors of the supply chain throughout April as new or soon-to-be imposed tariffs continue to weigh on freight markets. So lots of people are going to be getting hit very, very hard. Empty ports are a sign of a looming economic crisis as U.S. equity investors are distracted. They're distracted by corporate earnings and economic data, kind of like the Lehman Brothers crash. Everybody was distracted with making money. They were distracted with all the profits, not realizing that they were basically setting the whole country up for a collapse. Equity investors are distracted once again by corporate earnings, and they are overlooking a looming economic crisis signaled by a dramatic decline in U.S. port traffic. A sharp drop in port activity from China and Asia will trigger a severe economic shock, impacting agriculture, your food. That's your food. Agriculture equals food. It's going to impact your food. You think prices are high right now on food now? Transportation. You're not going to get cars, trucks, new parts, all coming from China. So what's going to happen? Everything's going to go up in price. Used cars, new cars, if you can find them. Probably not going to find them. It's going to be worse than in 2021. Remember when the shortage, everything hit? Couldn't find laptops, anything that had chips in them. New cars have chips. Not going to find it. Not going to be there. It's going to be a disaster. But there's a golden age on the horizon. A little bit of pain, but a golden age is coming. Prepare. Hopefully you got enough money to get you there. It's also going to affect manufacturing and retail sectors. That means no toys for Christmas. What manufacturing are we talking about in the United States? Do we even manufacture anything anymore? The pain is supposed to make us start manufacturing. That's Trump's. I think that's Trump's logic. It may take a while, but everybody's going to find out that necessity is the mother of invention. You're going to start inventing things. Remember I told you guys that you're going to have to MacGyver it? Remember I have those little thumb drives that are about surviving what's coming? And I said you're going to have to MacGyver things. You know what MacGyver is, right? Remember who remembers MacGyver? Some of you youngins in here that haven't been around all that long might not remember the show MacGyver. But everybody says you got to MacGyver it because you got to make it work. You got to invent something that's going to make it work. Kind of like Mickey Mousing it to make it work. Anybody there remember MacGyver? That's right, Kevin. Kids don't need toys. They need BB guns and fishing poles. I don't know why I find that funny. That is hilarious. Oh, gosh. All right, so let's continue. Manufacturing is going to be affected, retail sectors, everything. The trade war with China is already causing significant damage to the U.S. economy, potentially leading to a business cycle recession / depression. We're going to see soup lines and bread lines and uprisings, and the poor are not going to be getting their EBT. And if they do, they can't get what they want because they said you can't have candy and cupcakes and soda pop. Sorry. You're only going to eat carrots and spinach from now on, if you can find them. And they're going to be really expensive, too. Port of Los Angeles warns difficult decisions ahead as shipments from China cease. This is coming from investors.com. You can all find out what's going on with these directly from our channel here on Telegram. Subscribe to us, and then you could just click the link and read to your heart's content. Emptier ports, shortages, higher prices, latest terrorists. Latest tariffs may really hit home in 2 weeks. Seattle Times. Hey, there's a little rainbow there. Maybe a little hope. Look at that. It's a rainbow. Is it a double rainbow? It's a double rainbow. Maybe there's hope. It's all the way across the sky. You know what? I met that guy. He used to live near where I lived. I went over to meet that guy. Did I ever tell you the story about that when I met Paul? What was his last name? Vasquez. They called him Yosemite Bear. Paul Vasquez. His YouTube channel, he's been dead now for like 4 years, but he keeps posting like every other day or every other. What he did was before he died, he like scheduled like years of posts. Literally years of posts. He was kind of a very odd guy. Very odd guy. But anyways, he was the double rainbow guy. But look, there's a rainbow here. Maybe there's something going on here that we don't know about. The rainbow is in the sky right here, right above the ports. Is that a sign? Trump says yes. It means we should have hope for a new future, a golden age, where everything is golden, including the eggs. They're golden. Trump's tariffs might make him the Grinch that ruins Christmas. They're saying no more Christmas presents in the store. You know, Dana Coverstone had a dream about no Christmas presents. Did you know that? That one where he said that the Baltic Dry Index was at 0, which has to do with shipping, by the way. I gotta get Dana Coverstone back on here. The Baltic Dry Index was at 0, and there was no Christmas. Is that where we're at now? Oh, you did post that, honey. I did. I see that there. Very good. Remember Pastor Dana Coverstone's dream. Baltic Dry Index at 0. No lights at stores. No Christmas. The Grinch. I do not like Christmas. BP wife just said this. See? She posts BP wife. Let's see what my wife said here. We've known for quite some time that this would continue under Trump. He is the Trojan horse that we've warned about. Many laughed, scoffed, and mocked us for saying so. Many didn't care and voted for him anyways. Everything will get worse under Trump. Admin 2.0. They're preparing everything for him to usher in the Great Reset. Had a clear vision in early 22, saw the words Donald J. Trump, door-to-door vaccines, and I saw an ear clogged up to symbolize that many would not hear the warning and would not believe it. Well, here we are. What further proof do you need? Prepare accordingly. You better listen to BP Earth. You better listen to BP News wife, Blazing Press wife. She knows what she's talking about. This guy, I haven't seen this guy in a long time. Sheriff Insider exposed all this about the next pandemic and got fired. Okay, FEMA and Homeland Security doing training exercises. Medical martial law for the next pandemic. Whoa. This is interesting because they are preparing the way right now. You know, Trump's executive order the other day paves the way for the local police to become militarized and to be working very closely with federal government and military. They're getting all kinds of military equipment now. The excess equipment from the military is probably going right directly to the police. That includes surveillance type equipment as well as weapons. Let's see. It says all comms will be cut off. Public will need to rely on emergency communication. Sat phones, ham radios will be useful. Remember, we told you about sat phones, ham radios. We sell that stuff in our store if you want to check it out. Packingheat.co. And by the way, all that stuff's going to go up in price. And I don't even know. It might be up in price now. You know, you've probably got less than a couple weeks to get all that stuff. I'm just telling you. I'm going to have to shut my store down because I won't be able to get anything anymore. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't even really promote the store anyway at this point because I think people are really done. They don't really hear about what's coming anyway. But so if you're not prepared with these types of things, when everything is shut off, it'll be done. You won't even care because you'll be in the forest and you'll be yelling, but how will I know? Because unless I'm there, I won't know. You know? What's that? How does that go? When a tree falls, did it really fall if nobody heard it? I don't know. The Global Truth Commission decides what information gets put out. That's true, especially under AI. Everything's being controlled by AI now. You know that. Even mainstream media, along with social media, they are affecting social media accounts, by the way. They are promoting accounts as well as demoting and hiding accounts that are speaking the truth. Law enforcement will use Starlink for comms. And that's true because Starlink was given over by Elon to the military and or the government a while back, not too long ago. And it says not the public. I wouldn't trust Starlink either. FEMA rounding up people who refuse vaccines, door-to-door vaccines, checkpoints set up throughout the country. This is what this guy had talked about. And I could see that you know, under a chaotic time of internal upheaval, possibly war without and war from within, that people are going to be in a place where they're going to try to, you know, facilitate these types of controls. I don't know. You know, this guy might have something here. We've been listening to him on and off. He supposedly knows some people high up that have been involved in some of these meetings, government meetings that are law enforcement. He sounds legit. You might want to check him out. All of this is leading up to one thing: end times persecution that Scripture really warns about. No one will be whisked away in a rapture before then. This is where suffering and hard times coming to the world. There is more, and as Christians, we should all embrace the cross and not be afraid of what's coming. Amen. The warnings have gone out, and those with eyes to see and ears to hear will be prepared spiritually for what is to come. Pray, keep the faith, endure until the end. Amen. Amen, wifey. That's good. U.S. is ready to develop universal vaccines to target multiple virus strains. Wonderful. They're going to have like customized mRNAs. You know that, right? They have customized mRNAs for everything. If you got acne as a teenager, they got a customized mRNA for you. I read all that. There's like 250 of them. All mRNA-based technologies to stop certain things like that. Heal cancer, take away the aging gene, give us your DNA so that we can map it according to your own genome. And we'll cut and splice and we'll dice, and then if something goes wrong, we'll say, whoops, it was experimental. This wasn't, you signed your life away, remember? You can't sue us, or your loved ones can't sue us. I love it. He looks so, gives me the chills. Trump's executive order unleashes the cops and flirts with martial law. The new order effectively allows police to get away with murder, and that's just the beginning. So he's going to relax the restrictions on police, giving them immunity from prosecution for doing their job, quote unquote, which opens the door for them to have a little more excessive force, etc., to make them to deal with the bad guys, right? But you know how all that goes. A lot of these guys have PTSD anyway, and they're just going to look at this as a way to, it's kind of like a catharsis. They're going to take it out on the public. They're, it's the most evil job you can probably have, is to deal with criminal activity. But what ends up happening is that criminal activity becomes, it affects the policing of those criminals, and then it is unleashed on the public because they become a part of that. It jades you. It affects you. It's kind of like war. When you go into war, you come back different. You might have bad dreams for the rest of your life. You might punch the wall. You might wake up and, think your wife's the enemy and do something to her or to your kids or something. Kick the dog, kill the, people do that all the time that are vets. You know that. And so the more time you spend with the criminal and evil, the more it rubs off on you if you're not covered in the blood of Christ and Jesus is not your God protecting you. You're going to be affected, and possibly in a very negative way. Building the standing army. Trump's new order hands military power to cops, getting ready for civil war. Read this carefully. The Free Thought Project says that on April 28, 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order titled Strengthening and Unleashing America's Law Enforcement to Pursue Criminals and Protect Innocent Citizens, unquote. This directive significantly expands the federal government's role in local policing, blurring the lines between civilian law enforcement and military operations. It authorizes the transfer of excess military equipment to local police departments, increases federal funding for law enforcement, and provides legal protections for officers accused of misconduct. Critics argue that this move accelerates the militarization of the police and undermines civil liberties. The executive order mandates that the Attorney General and Secretary of Defense to increase the provisions of excess military and national security assets in local jurisdictions to assist state and local law enforcement. This includes military-grade weapons, vehicles, surveillance equipment, effectively turning local police forces into paramilitary units. Such measures raise concerns about the erosion of the Posse Comitatus Act, which prohibits the use of military for domestic law enforcement. They're just preparing, that's all. India is getting ready to launch e-passports with embedded chips. They're going to have an embedded chip inside the passport. China blames the United States for the origin of COVID-19. Trump says that any country that buys oil from Iran cannot do business with the U.S. And the church is on fire. All right. Are you guys meeting with us every early afternoon, late morning? We come on every day, mostly, to do devotions. And if you are a believer and want to get filled with the Spirit and get a good teaching from the Word of God, make sure you're there. It'll help you out in every way for the rest of your day. You want a good day? Don't miss it. All right, so there's another few things I want to show you here really quickly, and then we're going to call it a night. Okay, here it is. Let's see. This is Investors Business Daily, investors.com. Okay, investors.com. Port of Los Angeles. Let's see here. It says, why is this so messed up here? Can I just get the archive version of this? I just can't. Oh, you know what? There's a video on here I wanted you guys to see. Okay, so this says Port of Los Angeles warns that difficult decisions ahead as shipments from China cease. President Donald Trump's trade war policies are expected to bring about a 35% decline in cargo arriving at the Port of Los Angeles by next week. And it's going to increase from there on out, as essentially all shipments out of China for all shipments out of China for major retailers and manufacturers have ceased. That means everything that's being made in the United States that has parts from China, that means everything that's bought from China, which means a lot of things. Everything that you might have wanted to get, things that are in our store, you won't be able to get them anymore. I'm going to have to turn off the store. Okay, according to the Port of Los Angeles Executive Director Gene Soroka, his warning came during the port's Board of Harbor Commission's meeting on April 24th. By the way, if you want to get something, you better get it now. Wherever you're going to get it now, because most of this stuff is sourced, it's put together, coming from China right here in the United States, or it's sourced right directly from China. So, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so it goes on to say, the executive director saying that retailers and manufacturers typically put in orders to factories in Asia around 3 to 4 months in advance of shipments, and that Trump's 90-day pause on the broad reciprocal tariffs resulted in no real difference for business. Now listen to this. Listen to what they're saying here. I need you guys to pay close attention to what these people are saying here. This is very important. All right, I'm going to play this really quick, and then we're going to say goodnight. All right, here we go.
We don't want to lay off anyone or fire anyone, but that's what's going to happen if this lasts much longer. And that sucks to do as a business owner.
I don't know if that's going to be a gradual or a very steep incline, but definitely going to expect prices to increase. Right now, we're trying to absorb it as much as we can.
From multi-million-dollar brands to neighborhood restaurants, small businesses are scrambling as Trump's China tariffs ripple through Main Street. With a 145% tariff on Chinese goods, business owners say the pain is real, even as policies keep changing.
This is more of like an embargo rather than a tariff, because people are going to have a really hard time selling products at 145%. No one's shipping things from China, because if it's 145%, why even take those goods?
Stephen Borelli, the founder of Cuts Clothing, where we are here in New York City, started the brand back in 2016 with no outside capital, but says today he's considering raising money for the first time to survive the rising prices from Chinese imports.
There's a lot of things that we need to fix in order to overcome these tariffs, but it's hard to overcome them if you don't know what they are long term.
Borelli supports U.S. President Donald Trump, but says businesses like his need help. In mid-April, Borelli took to X with an open letter to Trump. warning every day this continues, more businesses will fail. Solving one issue but hurting the very people who voted for you is not the best outcome. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary has been a vocal advocate for cracking down on China, calling for tariffs as high as 400% if needed to fight unfair trade, protect American businesses, and get China to the negotiating table.
Trump has to do this now because he's got a time bomb in the midterm elections. Xi can't wait 2 years. He's got to get this resolved too. So unfortunately, one of the derivatives of this kind of negotiation is volatility, and we're in the middle of it now. But you have to look beyond the ball to understand the benefit, and that's what I'm focused on.
The White House is putting the pressure on China to make the next move. Here's U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent in an April 28th appearance on CNBC.
I believe that it's up to China to de-escalate because they sell 5 times more to us than we sell to them. And so these 125, 145% tariffs are unsustainable.
Apollo Management chief economist said in an April 27th note that empty shelves could be a reality in the coming weeks, and says the probability of a recession this summer is at 90%. He also predicted that the flow of container ships from China to the U.S. is likely to come to a stop. With the clock ticking and Main Street on edge, Kevin O'Leary told IBD the focus should be on policy, not politics, when it comes to supporting small businesses.
The way I look at small businesses, they account for 62% of all job creation. They are the economy. Small business is the American economy, so we should care a lot about what they think. And so here's something that I didn't have to deal with until recently. I don't shill for politicians. I'm not pro or con Trump. I don't care. What I care about is policy.
Small Business Week is the first week of May, and this administration is promising to uplift Main Street.
For the next 4 years, the Trump agenda is focused on Main Street. It's Main Street's turn. It's Main Street's turn to hire workers. It's Main Street's turn to drive investment. And it's Main Street's turn to restore the American dream.
But small business owners say the American dream is getting harder to achieve.
And there's a ton of small e-commerce companies that represent the American dream, and we don't have as big as budgets that some of like the Nikes and the Lululemons of the world have. But we want to be a part of that, and don't kill us in effort to accomplish that.
I think what worries me the most is the uncertainty. There needs to just be a direct answer, and then it's like, okay, how are we going to resolve this?
Since the tariffs were announced, already we see a surge in our costs from various vendors. For some, there are no answers, and for us, this means an uncertain future for our Korean restaurant.
That's Ji Kim. She owns a Korean restaurant in Manhattan and says the 145% tariffs are a problem as she's planning renovations with furniture and materials from China. Now, many companies currently source their goods from outside the U.S., and when it comes to the reality of setting up a significant manufacturing presence in America, O'Leary does not hesitate when giving a timeline.
10 years. 10 years at least.
From the campaign trail to the Oval Office, Trump has been promising to bring manufacturing back to American soil.
We need to create, in order to protect our country's future, resurgence
10 years?
of U.S. manufacturing.
Did he say 10 years?
The likes of which has not been seen for many decades. It's time for our great industries to come back to America.
The machinery is just not as good here. The quality would actually go down in the U.S. by a pretty large margin. A lot of people don't understand that the machinery is like 1980s versus in China, it's in Vietnam and the Asia countries, it's almost 5 times faster.
The CEO and founder of small business lending platform Biz2 Credit says moving production to the U.S. isn't just hard, it's nearly impossible for some businesses.
We cannot expect them to become manufacturers because that's not going to happen, first of all. Any kind of reshoring of manufacturing will take time, first of all. Secondly, it requires a lot of trained workforce.
Do you think Americans will want factory jobs?
No, I don't think they will. I think bringing back manufacturing and using AI and robotics is interesting. I'm very bullish on when we get all this trade stuff worked out, that we keep marching on and with the benefit of AI and technology and robotics in manufacturing or assembly even.
Now, a possible upside to these tariffs could be U.S. trade becoming more competitive.
One good outcome out of all this could be that if Trump is able to get a lot of countries to do zero tariffs, then that's actually very good for the world trade, and that is also very good for American companies because it will also open up lot of opportunities for American companies. Because one place where President Trump is absolutely correct is that today, it's very easy to enter the US market. But when US companies are trying to go into these markets like China, India, large markets, Indonesia and all that, it has been very tough for them.
Now, small business owners are nothing if not adaptable, but this time, even the strongest may need a lifeline.
As a business owner, one needs to now start thinking about, living in a more uncertain world.
For Investors Business Daily, I'm Clara O'Connor.
Okay, so it looks like there's some ongoing attacks now in Israel right now.
Legislation, regulation.
It looks like there's some alerts going on right now out of Israel. Yemen is firing missiles into Israel. There's some big alerts going on where lots of people are going into shelters, and we're seeing the alerts pop off right now in real time. So we're just kind of following that. But anyways, that's kind of what we were wanting to kind of update you guys on. I know that there's probably a lot more, but you can find a lot of those updates right directly on our Telegram page. So make sure you subscribe to the Telegram page. If you're not, use Telegram. It's a great app, especially if your internet happens to go down and your cell phones are still working. You still will be able to find out news through your local carrier if it accesses the internet. So make sure that you have kind of a dual backup in case critical infrastructure is affected, which they're saying is a good possibility if war breaks out. There's a lot of uncertainties, and I don't know if I would just put all my trust in what Trump says, because he's great at making people have a little hope. But, everybody has a plan, they say. You know how the rest goes. Everybody has a plan until you're laid out on the, what is it? On the octagon floor. So anyways, guys, I better get, it's time for me to go. God bless. You guys have a great afternoon, a great night, a great evening, a great week. And if I don't see you before the Lord returns, I'll see you up in the air. But most likely I'll see you tomorrow, the Lord willing, as I always say. And we'll talk to you late. If something big goes down between now and then, I definitely will be updating you. But we'll be back here for our morning devotional tomorrow. Not here on this channel, but on our BP Ministries channel. You can find that as well by just typing in BP Ministries. Same fire logo. Go over there and check it out. Get involved in the fellowship, prayer time, and study of the Word. Something that will help you out in your day if you don't already do that. It's always good to do it with another few other brothers and sisters too. It always helps, I think, to kind of focus us. But keep that on your calendar if you decide to join us. And in the meantime, I will talk to you soon. God bless.